Hello, and welcome to another episode of Eating from the Earth. Well, what used to be Eating from the Earth, it is now going to go by a different name. So I've made the decision to change the name of the podcast, Eating from the Earth, to a different name. And the reason behind the change is not that it's not a great name, it's such a great name, but um, it kind of puts me in a box as far as what I'm going, the kind of content I can put out. um, you know, my passion, however, I do love gardening, but my real passion is gut health and based in Ayurvedic medicine. And of course, if you know anything about Ayurvedic medicine, then you know that it is all gut. It's all the gut. Everything is in the gut as far as Ayurveda is gone is goes, and it's not just eating. There's so much more that we consume other than just food. We consume so much information. We consume things through the air and in our skin, and so we're constantly consuming. And the digestive fire called Agni is always working to digest everything we consume, not just food, other things too. So I felt like, being limited to talking about just eating out of the earth kind of put me more into a gardening niche where I do love to garden. I just don't think I know enough to support a podcast. So I do know, though, enough about the gut and about Ayurveda to support a podcast. Um, so moving forward, eating from the earth will be referred to as For the Love of Life. So eating from the earth is now For the Love of Life. I felt like For the Love of Life was a more fitting name, and it was less boxing me in. So the content I can create is going to that's going to increase. So rather than just talking about gardening, which I love to garden, I just don't think I know enough. And when it comes to gardening, there's just not enough of my message that I can fit into there. So, in the new podcast For the Love of Life, we're going to talk about things like, your life balance and your gut brain connection, and the importance of meditation, the importance of being true to yourself, the importance of establishing your own truth, and all wonderful things, Ayurveda and gut related, that are part of everyone's life. We all deal with gut health issues. So not all of us. I mean, some people have really great guts, and it just doesn't just happen that way. You have to work at that. So I commend people for doing the work to have a good, strong, healthy gut system, because it is our first brain. So we will definitely be talking about more subjects than just related to plants and gardening and food out of the earth. Um, so today, though, I do have a topic that I'd like to talk about, and I'm asking the question: Are we a species divided? You know, um, in my opinion, I think we are. We are divided. We're not just divided on political views. We're divided on every belief system. And the more and more divided we get, the closer the tighter we hold onto our belief systems. And our belief systems are what force us to pass judgment on one another. So, I would like to kind of talk today about are we a species divided, and how do we learn to coexist? So, yeah, I would say that at this point in our civilization, that we are probably a species divided. It's definitely not just in the United States. You see it all over the world. You see division, you see fear. So, chaos, I know from my studies in spirituality and in Buddhism and even in Ayurveda, um, when there's chaos in the body and when there's chaos in the world, it usually produces a change. So whenever we, as our body, whenever we have some kind of a serious illness, or maybe we have a heart attack, or maybe we have, a terrible gallbladder attack, or something to that degree, chaos in the body, it will usually trigger a change in the way that the human is living, usually. Now there's many people that it doesn't, but I would say the majority of people would take these warning signs and make some sort of a change. It doesn't, some aren't big changes and some aren't change enough to really make a difference, but most people will make some sort of a change. And so chaos in the world and chaos in your body, it's all bringing forth a change. And change is a natural aspect of life, and change is a sign of life. And so if this chaos in the world right now, knowing that everything always works out for our highest good, no matter what side that we're on, everything always works out for our highest good. So we should know that this change coming is something that's going to be tremendously beneficial to us. Right now we're divided because we're going through chaos, but there will be a time when we reunite and we will start to coexist. And then I think I would like to talk a little bit more about what we could do to start to coexist. So, how do we coexist in all of this chaos? Well, it is definitely difficult. Looking at it from my perspective, and probably from many people's perspectives, we see that this is intentional. We see that dividing us is an intentional move, and in any type of war or warfare, it's the idea is to divide and conquer. And so if we can look at it from that standpoint, knowing that we are not dividing ourselves, we are listening to the news, we are scrolling through Facebook and getting all of this information about who's right and who's wrong, and we're picking a side instead of observing the belief system, having respect for it, but just being the observer, And I truly believe that until we get to a point where we can just be the observer, it's going to be really hard to coexist. Passing judgment on someone else's belief system is passing judgment on your own. If you've studied any shadow integration, you know that everything that you see wrong in someone else is something that you don't like about yourself. And so if you are passing judgment on someone else's belief system and you are filing it away in your head as something that's untrue and that is not right, and if that is the place that you're filing it away, then you're carrying that judgment with you, and it's putting blocks up, and it is forcing you to not be able to coexist with other humans. Now, we are divided on social issues. We are divided on personal issues. We are divided on medical issues. I would say probably one of the staunchest and nastiest debates is the debate about the vaccines. And, there are people that 100% believe in every single vaccine out there. And then there's people that don't, and they're afraid, and both have valid reasoning behind them. And it is has proven to be a very good way to divide our species. So the division right now is a part of the process of change that we're going through the chaos. And we know that once the change comes, it's going to be great for us. We know that. So at some point we would just need to find gratitude for the chaos, run towards the chaos, be grateful for it, get through it, and come into a place of coexistence. I look forward to podcasting through this journey and listening to other people's ideas about coexisting. And, I am excited about the place that we are going as a species. The change is going to be good for us. We're going to learn a lot. And most of all, we're going to fill the world with love. And that is exactly what we are meant to do. Fill the world with love. Until next time, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on For the Love of Life.